What's going on, YouTube? This is Luke with Endless Entrepreneurs, coming to you with a later edition of my Sunday shipping vlog. The Masters was on today. I had a midday softball game, and I was just in a groove this morning prepping inventory, so I decided to push it to tonight. I know normally I do it in the afternoons. I know that usually works better for a lot of people to tune in, so whoever joins is great, but if not, hopefully you can rewatch later, and this will be helpful content. One of the things I want to talk about today is how many pictures to use on your eBay listings. And I'm going to tell you up front now, I'm not sure that I have the answer, but I'm at least going to discuss what I do and what I've seen other people do and why I think people do what they do. So those of you new to my channel, I am a part-time eBay seller. I am a full-time finance analyst in the corporate world, and I build my business in my spare time. And I've been documenting that journey for quite a few months now on YouTube, and it's been a blast. So this is just one of the ways that I document and kind of interact with the reseller community. Let me jump over the chat here, see who's joining. Hi, Fabian. Thanks for stopping in. Hi, Tony. Hi, Atripa. Hi, Brenda. Philip. House of Treasures. Hey, Common Peace. And hi, Jennifer. How many people watched the Masters today? It was quite the finish. I am I'd say a solid golf fan. I don't watch a lot of TV or a lot of golf, but I do always watch the Masters and the big major tournaments. Hey, Parahead, thanks for stopping in. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Jessica. Hope you had a good weekend, Jessica. All right, let's let some other people. While I wait for people to come in, we got 30 watching right now. I'm just going to go over sales for the weekend. They were pretty weak on like Thursday, Wednesday, and then the weekend they picked up great for me. So I'm just going to go through before we jump in the topic what sold for me, kind of briefly talk about it. A lot of them are on polybags. I know it's hard to see them, but at least can talk through it. So this is a Nike Tour Performance. You can see the tag there, I think. It's actually a TPC Sawgrass logo on it. And speaking of golf, it took a best offer for $20 for this. I was in it for $4. It should ship flat rate. I have to do all my shipping after this, actually. It's kind of late for me, but here is an American Eagle vintage fit pearl snap shirt. These are my favorite. It's pretty much my only American Eagle thing I sell. I sell these pretty frequently. I'd say I sell 4 or 5 of them a month. But actually, this one sold for $22. I took a best offer and in it for $4. So this is... That's a suit. That's why I was like, where's the other half to it? So I sold a Joseph A. Bank Signature Gold, which I know you're not going to see much, but it's a pinstripe suit. I probably can't see that. But that's the higher end Joseph A. Bank line. In this for $10, it'll probably ship, depending on location, anywhere from like $8 to $12-ish. And I took a best offer of $60 for it. Usually can get a little higher, but I mean, 60 is a really decent turn for a $10 investment for me, and I'm willing to move that. This is and you should be able to see this tag, a Brooks Brothers extra fine merino wool. It's a sweater vest. It's brown. I have really good luck with these. I sold this for $22. Took a best offer. I'm in it for $4. Pretty lightweight. I'm going to toggle between the chat guys as I'm going through here. Hi, Tara. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Susan and Debbie and HD. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Oh, Debbie says she found a Peter Millar suit today. That's awesome. That's a huge score. You'll get at least $150 for that, I would guess. South Florida sellers asked a question. I'm going to answer real quick. And it said, if I bought 5 men's designer suits at a yard sale this weekend, but they are size 48 regular, was that a mistake? Depends on the brand, honestly. Depends what you paid for them. I mean, there's a lot of factors. So if you want to email me offline and get my feedback, I'm more than happy to answer for you. But yeah, there's a lot of factors that depend on whether that's a good buy or not. All right, I'm going to keep rolling here. So this is a Levi's. Be on the lookout for these guys. This is a Levi's denim vest. It's got like the metal buttons on it. And this is a women's size small. This sold for $28.99. Sold for full asking price. I'm in it for $4 actually. They gave it to me for the shirt price. I remember picking this up. It's going to ship flat rate for probably $6. These denim vests and in a lot of different brands, they sell really well. And the denim jackets too. So that was a cool turn. So these are, I think. Actually, these are the 9 West jeans. So I learned about 9 West from Shannon actually, because she's been reselling women's clothing, and I've been starting to learn about some of the brands she's picking up. And so these are 9 West jeans. Are like the cigarette skinny was the type of like style, but these sold for $25.50. So I was in them for $4.99. They'll probably ship flat rate for $6. So decent turn. Snow pants, guys. It's odd in spring, but these are still selling. These are Columbia. These were about a 2XL, and they're just big, like, these weren't even heavy insulated ones. They were just like a shell, like snow pant. Sold these for 30 bucks. I was in them for $3.99. They're actually pretty lightweight. They might skip it under a pound. If not, they'll go flat rate for $6. But even out of season, guys, the snow gear is still selling. So be on the lookout. So it was at a haul video about this, but I think it was last week. So this was Palm, I can't remember the name of it. Palm something. Not a brand I pick up normally ever, but it was new with tags, and it was 64XL. So I ended up picking this up for $4.99, and I sold it, took a best offer of $50. So pretty decent flip there. This will go flat rate for sure for $6. We've got these lunar glides. I don't know if you can see. This is the last of the shoes I picked up. I believe it's the last of the shoes I picked up at the outlet. So these are, I took a best offer of $60. I was in these for $27. And they'll probably ship for anywhere from like $8 to $12. So not a huge profit, but you're talking $20+ net profit after all fees and stuff. So not bad. I picked those up in a batch at the Nike outlet like in December. So still selling those off. This was a purchase I made last Black Friday at the Brooks Brothers outlet. You can see it's a new with tags, Brooks Brothers. It's a slim fit, non-iron, short sleeve dress shirt. It was on the clearance rack, and then I had a coupon, and I picked up like 10 of these for, I think, $11 a piece. Sold a bunch of them last year for anywhere from like 30 to 40 bucks. This one I sold for 30. I've had it forever. If I took different pictures, when I pictured these at the time, my setup wasn't that great, and so the quality listing wasn't as good as it could have been. So, I mean, I was happy to move it for 30 after having it for a year. Still made a profit, and this will ship first class. All right, before I go through this last batch here, I'm going to jump over the chat, make sure I'm not missing out on anything here. Hey, Steve, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate the shout out for the like button. Yeah, guys, we got about 46 watching live now, so I appreciate all the love. And yeah, Steve is killing it. He brings the value, and he brings it hard every single night. So check out his channel. We appreciate all the value he brings to our community for sure. All right, I'm going to flip back. I'm going to finish off. We've got about 7 or 8 more items, and then we'll jump into the topic. All right, so this is a Hickey Freeman. And again, I don't recommend using tape on your items. This is old, and I just have been too lazy to go back and change this. So hopefully it peels off without too much challenge. It does, thank goodness. So this is a Hickey Freeman. It's like a beige houndstooth type pattern blazer. And I'll show you guys the tag because it's not in the poly bag. Here's your tag. This is a silk wool blend, and I sold this for 50 bucks. Took a best offer. In it for $4.99. It'll go flat rate for $6. All right, so these are, you guys might recognize the brand Big Star. So these are Big Star jeans. Learned about these. These are women's jeans, these ones are. Sold these for $40. They did have some wear on them, wear on the butt area and wear on the cuffs. So I was happy to move them for 40 bucks. Usually you can get more if they're in really, really good shape. I think these were the Maddie line, Maddie something. I don't know. I can see. Oh, these are the Sarah Slim boot cut line. So 40 bucks, in them for $5. We'll ship flat rate for $6. Here's another really old inventory item I was happy to move. So these are, I don't know if you know the brand Ex Officio. It's a pretty decent fishing brand. I love selling the vintage shirts. These are new with tags, women's Teflon shorts. I have had these for, I would say, 14 months. So they finally sold for $16. I just wanted to get rid of them. So pretty happy to move them, honestly. I think I was in them for like $2. Got them at a half off at the Salvation Army back in New York when I lived up there. So I guess it was even longer than that. It was probably like 2 years ago I've had those. So this is Woolrich, brand new with tags, polo. Just a very basic cotton polo. I would never have picked it up if it wasn't new with tags. But I got $20 for it, in it for $4. It will ship first class for probably right around $4. Adriano Goldschmied, and you've seen in some of my haul videos, I've been finding quite a few of these. It is a high-end women's brand. I did find out from a viewer that the men's ones sell even faster, which I have never found a men's pair. But so these actually had some substantial wear on them. I didn't see it when I picked them up the first time, but I still sold these for $26.50. I was in them for $5. And these I think are lightweight enough. They're going to go first class. They're really small pair of jeans. Steve, I can't see the chat now right now, but I know you'll appreciate this if you're still here. Pendleton. I learned first about this brand from watching Steve Rakin's channel way back in the day. You used to find a lot of good Pendleton wool shirt jackets. I appreciated all the brand knowledge back then. This one has like the leather wooden buttons on it. Really ugly color. It did have a tiny hole in the shoulder. I notated that, and this sold for $34. So in it for $4, and it should ship flat rate for $6. Climacool. I don't normally pick this up, but it was a 2XL, and it's golf season, and I took a best offer of $18 for this. I was in it for $4. This is definitely one of my lower margin items, but on golf season, and I'm okay moving that for $4 for $18. And we got, this is a brand I just learned about recently. It's called Bonobos, I think is how you pronounce it. This is a slim fit, kind of a crazy pattern. This sold for $27. I took a best offer for on this. In it for $4. We'll ship first class. I've actually sold a couple other shirts in that brand since finding them. So definitely be on the lookout. It sells pretty quick. I've got 2 Peter Millar polo shirts, just cotton. Same buyer bought them from Canada and shipping them out together tonight. They paid $22 a piece. I cut them a break because of the international shipping. So not bad. And then last but not least, to kick off the MLB season, this is a New York Mets, which you can't really see the logo there. New York Mets Nike, or no, it's a Majestic dry fit type polo. Sold it for $20, and so I'll get that out in the mail tomorrow. So let me flip back. We got 55 people watching. That's what sold this weekend for me. All right. Let me see. Yeah, Ray Steve said, I remember when I first started reselling, I go to a thrift store looking for one brand only, Pendleton. Yeah, well, if you found a lot of Pendleton, it was a score. I mean, you weren't doing anything wrong if you're finding Pendleton over and over. All right, so let's shift gears and jump into the topic, because this is one that I'm pretty, I don't know, I'm just curious and learning what everyone else does and what's working for them. And I've been talking a lot with Jason over on Prof Sales and Chris over on 10K on the Bay, and we've been really starting to hone in on some of the metrics of our business and trying to really challenge each other to keep improving and not waste time. And pictures is one of the ones we're focusing on right now. And so I actually timed myself today on photos, and I did 34 items in an hour. I photographed. And then I started making me think, like, okay, well, how many photos are necessary per listing to, if I want no drop in quality as far as my sell-through, the price I'm asking for, all those things, how many photos is acceptable versus what I'm doing now? Like, could I do less and not have a drop in quality, not have a drop in sell-through? Do I need to do more and I could ask for more money? I think there's a lot of factors to think about, and I wanted to kind of diagram what I do and why I do it, and then I wanted to hear from everyone else with what they do and what they think, because I don't think that I necessarily have the best answer or the right answer. I just have what's been working for me, and I'm always open to improving and seeing what's best, because I know there's a lot of different models and schools of thought around this. So I'm just going to talk through what I do, and then we can kind of shift more to a Q&A back and forth, and hopefully I can get some feedback from you guys. So what I do is for dress shirts specifically, dress shirts and tops, sweaters, I pretty much take 6 pictures. So I take like an angled front shot of like the upper half of the shirt, just as like a nice framed in shot. I take a front, like the front of the shirt, full body view, the side, the back, the side, and then one of like the cuff, kind of crossing the other cuff so you can see the ends of the sleeves if there are any. If there aren't, then I just take one of the tags. So I think it's like 6 or 7, depending if it's long sleeve or short sleeve. And that's been working for me. It doesn't take me very long. And I just did shirts and sweaters a day, and I did 34 in an hour, which I think is pretty solid. Like, to be able to do photographs with 34 items an hour, I think is pretty solid. I mean, I put earbuds in. I didn't do anything else. I didn't touch my phone. I just plowed through. And, then I can step aside, do the measurements, the descriptions for all of them. But for blazers and suits, I do 12 pictures, all 12 pictures. So I don't skip any. I make sure to use all of them. And my school of thought was that is I'm asking for top dollar for them. And there are a lot of nuances to the way they fit, to the pattern color, to whether it's going to match something they might be ordering the top for with their pants. And so I really feel like giving them as much info as I can, the sleeves, the sides, the angles of it, the pants, the cuffs, any of the tags on the inside. I feel like I need all 12 of those photos. And I don't think that I ever could get away with doing less with asking for the prices I'm asking for. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's a fact or not, but that's how I feel. And a lot of the other high-end suit people, I feel like they put a lot of pictures in. Shoes, I end up doing about 8. And that's just more because I'm inexperienced and I want to make sure I give more detail than not enough. I need to pay more attention to Tino on the Soul Advisor and how he does it, because whatever he's doing works well. But I'm just so new to shoes that I've kind of just been doing more than probably I need to. Ties, I do 4 pictures, and it's really just kind of like the front rolled up, a zoomed in one, I turn the back, and then and I do on the tag. So it was super simple. I think that covers really all the items. Pants. Oh, so pants I usually do, I think I do 7. So I'll do like front, I'll do a zoomed in top, zoomed in bottom, I'll flip them, do the full back, zoomed in top, zoomed in bottom, and then the tag. So, 6 or 7 seems to be my sweet spot for anything but suits and blazers, and then suits and blazers I do all 12. And so the reason that I do that is I feel like I'm a long tail seller. I'm trying to ask top dollar for most of my items. I want to give the feel of a very professional, detailed listing that a buyer can buy with confidence with and feel like a lot of time was put in to increase the value of the item with presentation. So I feel like that matters. I noticed right away, like 6 months ago, I started doing a few more pictures. It made a big difference. But then I've also, and this is where I kind of want to be more back and forth and conversational, is I've seen a lot of sellers who are more of a quick flip seller and their margins are a little less, but they're selling probably twice as much. And, they do some of them do 2 pictures or just 3 or 4, or they list mobile and they just do a couple and they're doing really well for themselves. So I don't think there's a perfect way. I just think that maybe it matters with your business model, what you're trying to accomplish. So I just kind of want to open up, and we'll do any Q&A you guys want, but I'm just really curious if you guys in the chat, let me know how many pictures roughly you guys use. And if you can put next to it, whether it's shirts or dress shirts or sweaters or whatever the item is, if you can just tell me how many photos you're using, because I'm very curious if am I overdoing it compared to everyone else? Am I underdoing it? I think that I'm in the right ballpark for a lot of other full-time sellers of what they're doing, but I'm just curious what everyone else is doing. So if you don't mind dropping in the chat for me, that would be cool for me to see. We got 67 people watching. Really, really, really appreciate everyone stopping in. I know it's a little later on a Sunday night, especially for us East Coasters, so it's nice for you to come in. Tony said, Rockstar is using collage pictures. What do you think? And yeah, we can branch more into that too, because I'm not as familiar with the collage picture, but I think when buyers, right, the new buyer, right? So the buyer in this day and age is looking at that first picture more than anything else and making a decision. So I think that the collage picture has a lot of benefit as far as you're giving it right up front. They're making a quick decision. And, think about scrolling through a Facebook feed or Instagram feed. You guys, you either grabs your attention or it doesn't, and you keep going. So that first picture is probably the most important. For me, it's so once you do grab their attention, right, and they're thinking about making a purchase, what happens when on the edge? Just having that extra 5, 6, 7 pictures convert the sale better than only having 1 or 2 additional. And that is where I'm a little on the fence about, as far as if I can put out twice as many listings in the same amount of time and do less pictures, will the extra sales offset maybe not getting top dollar? And that's more of, I think, a business philosophy type, approach. Drummer said, try out FOTOR collage software for Windows, free download. I'll have to check it out. I may experiment with some things, just throwing a collage one in here and there and just seeing what it looks like. The only thing I have with that is right now, I currently don't edit any photos. I edit 0 photos. The way I take them is cropped perfectly for me, and I just drop them in. So it's pretty quick for me. So I'm a little hesitant to switch that process. So Johnny said ties, he does 5, dress shirts, he does 7 to 10, and pants, he does 6. Okay, so that's right about in the same range for me. Warren said shirts 3, pants 6, and jackets 6 to 8. Okay, so a few less pictures. And Warren, how are sales going for you? I mean, do you feel like they're moving up for you and they're consistently increasing? Hey, Charles. Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely keep me updated when you travel to Charlotte. And I appreciate that offer on the intro. We'll connect via email. I haven't caught up my emails for the week, but I did see you sent one. I'll definitely connect with you on that. And if you do come to Charlotte, yeah, let's meet up at a thrift store and grab some lunch or something. That'd be awesome. Let's see. Hard Work Hustle said, I hear from some people that only take 3 or 4 pics, but someone said to use all 12 pics to get your listing higher on the search. Yeah, and that's an interesting point, because I'm not familiar enough with eBay's algorithm to know if it matters the more pictures you have or the less pictures you have, if it impacts the search rating. I'm not really sure. Thrift Stack just asked, do you get a lot of questions from measurements? I usually don't, but I include a lot. So shirts, I include pit to pit, top to bottom, and shoulder seam to the end, so the sleeve length. Pants, I do, for men's, I do waist and inseam. For women's, I waist, inseam, rise, and cuff. So it usually covers most of it. And then blazers, I do waist, pit to pit, shoulders, sleeve, and top to bottom. And then suits, I do the same for the blazers, and then I add in 5 pant measurements, which is the inseam, the rise, the thigh, knee, and waist. Jennifer says I have lots of color shade trouble. Yeah, and that's usually a lighting issue, Jennifer. You also, if you're using an iPhone or something, you should lock in the color. So when you zoom in, you can actually lock in the color to make sure from picture to picture it stays the same. Drummer just said that Bonafide says use all 12. Right. And I know that he's in that camp of doing a lot more pictures. And I would say I'm more towards the extreme of having more pictures than less. I don't use all 12 for everything. What I've gotten away from doing all 12 is for my commodity items. So when I talk about commodity, I say like Ralph Lauren or Brooks Brothers. Like anything I have, 200 of them up. I find them all the time. Their market's flooded anyways. Like I'm going to do, 5 or 6. I'm not going to bust my butt on those. So, but yeah, when I have my big ticket items, I think using 12 is excellent. Debbie just asked, do you wash your clothes or dry clean if necessary? Nope. I sell them as is. Occasionally I'll steam them if they're super, super wrinkled, but very rarely. Warren said sales have been great. As you know, secret is consistently. Yes, listing consistently is definitely true. But so, I mean, from Warren, what I'm hearing from you then is doing a few less pictures hasn't hurt your sales. So I think that kind of, it's interesting to know that. And guys, one of the things that I'm really trying to figure out right now is, the reason I'm tracking my progress on these little, photos and different things is, one, I want to be a better business. I want to run my business more effectively. But 2, I'm going to start hitting a wall where my time is going to have a hard time keeping up with the growth of my business. And I want to just squeeze out every last minute that I can. Hey, Philly, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words there. Tara, like you said, I think color can be crucial. I was trying to sell a dress for a wedding, and it was important to what exact shade it was. Yeah, Tara, I totally agree. Color in pictures is huge. Making sure it stays true is definitely a big deal. I have a lot of trouble with purple. I've had some suggestions I need to kind of experiment with, but purple, because I have like a light bluish brown background, the purple shade's always off for me. I don't sell a ton of purple items. I just kind of stay away from them unless I have to. But when I do, I just kind of eat it. So, hi, Diana. Thanks for stopping in. Thrift Stack said, where can I get your contact info? I could give you an intro. Yeah, so right now I'm working with a designer just to kind of, I've seen a couple of comments about that. I'm working with a designer, and he did design an intro for me that I use when I don't go live. I use it on all my pre-recorded videos. And he's been designing my website, which hopefully will launch this week. Actually, I'm pretty excited. I have a few loose ends to tie up with it, and it should launch this week. And I'll have all my free resource templates and stuff that I email you guys. I'll be able to post them there, and you guys can just go to the website, grab and download them. So that way it puts time back in my schedule, not having to email back necessarily. And also just you don't have to wait around for me to respond. I love your emails. Definitely keep emailing me because I like responding and interacting. But as far as the templates and stuff go, you guys don't have to wait around. You can grab them from the website. So, and I can blog on it, which I've been excited to do. I want to start blogging once a week. And so it should be a cool website. Dana said, no sales this weekend. Anyone else? No, my sales have been really strong. So I can't complain there. And Thrift Stack, my email is in the about me of my YouTube channel. So you can grab it in there and shoot me an email. Diego said, how are you doing, Luke, with your goal? So Q1 wrapped up. I just did a reflection video about 2 nights ago, and I'm about $18,000 in. So 18,000 for Q1, which is, I was hoping to be at 20. I didn't think I'd be at 25, which is technically on pace, but I was hoping to be at 20. So a little behind, but I think I'm going to make it up. I have no doubts. I just need to keep putting in the work. And the back half of the year is going to be huge for me anyways, I think, just for momentum. So, yeah, it should be cool. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Philly said, do you shop and list differently depending on what season it is? No, Philly, I buy all seasons in any season. I don't really – you'd be surprised. Everyone lives in different parts of the world, different parts of the country. They have a need for it almost all times of year. So if it's a good brand I know it can sell, I'll pick it up. And no matter what, it costs me 10 cents a month to keep it up. So Warren said, have been doing clothing or been doing eBay for 4 years. I'm like you, a full-time job also. Check out my store, clothing and such. I definitely will check it out, Warren. Thanks. Brian said, I used to use iPad to take pics, email them to myself, then edit, then load to eBay. Big time drain. Yes, totally agree. Big time drain. He says he now uses a Logitech webcam. It has a 1080. Pics are much better and load directly. That's awesome. That's a nice little time hack there. Let me see. Christian O'Brien said, you're trying to up your percent to 50% on the reflection video. Are you considering charging shipping? No, I'm not. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Christian. So I reflected a little more even after my video, and I was thinking, it just didn't make sense in my head. I'm like, for what I sell my items for, what I source them for, I'm like, how am I landing so low on the margin? And then I started thinking about, I've sold about 70 items or so that were old inventory, like from a year or two ago, for like dirt cheap. I mean, half of my normal sell price or lower, just to get it out. And the problem with that is because I average cost on my items, when those 70 items sold, they still go into my P&L as a $4.50 cost of goods. And I'm only selling it for $10, $11, $12 just to get the cash flow back and get them out of my inventory. So my margin was getting chewed down from like a full holistic picture because of those transactions. And I think I also didn't anticipate the increased shipping in early February was going to chip away at it. So I think that if I take those 70 transactions out, and I'm I'm actually going to filter them and look at what it looks like with them out, I think I'm much closer to 50%. But either way, I'm not going to use that as a cop out, and I'm going to hold true to my my asking prices and not budge as much on my best offers. But I'm not going to add shipping. I may add shipping to some of my women's jeans that don't move as fast, but just to keep them more competitive and lower the price. But besides that, I'm going to stay with the free shipping method. Let's see. Brian said, sometimes the question isn't how many pictures I take, but how can I take more pictures in less time? Brian, that's huge, and I totally agree with you. And I think that's what kind of why I started tracking it, and why a couple of us that I'm friends with and we do a mastermind with, we're going to start to track it. It's figuring out that metric and how I can get more out of that same hour, right? Like we all have the same hours in the day, but how can I get more productivity out of that hour? And like for me, I'm noticing headphones in, don't touch social media, don't talk to anyone, just an hour straight of photos. If I'm getting 34 up, I think I can push that closer to 40 if I really get going. And so, yeah, I totally agree. It's squeezing more out of that same hour. Jessica said, I don't take a ton of pics. Graphic shirts, usually 4 to 5. If it's a shirt with a lot of detail and embellishments, 6 to 8. Shorts, pants, 5 to 6. So, yeah, so pretty similar to me then. Okay. Christopher Bell said, how do you prevent more? I don't quite understand that question. Can you elaborate? Johnny Hood said, do you have a group page on Facebook where we can join? I don't. I'm not sure if I'm going to, just because there are so many of them out there that I feel like we all can connect on those platforms. Like I'm a part of Casey the Rockstar Flippers. I'm a paid member of Green Room. I love that one. I think Jason has one that I'm in. There's a couple other ones that I'm in. Reseller Society is a big one. So I don't know that I'm going to do that. It's a lot of maintenance for me. And if I was full-time reselling, I might think about it. But yeah, but not for right now. I don't think I can handle juggling that. Tara said, any thoughts on 14-day return versus 30? I say always offer 30. eBay looks better at it, and your listings will be higher in the rankings. I say do 30. Either way, you're going to accept the return whether you have 14 or 30, and whether it's been 30. So I just might as well offer 30. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here, guys, in 2 minutes. Oh, Christopher Bell said that word, he said more, M-O-I-R-E, means the squiggly lines and pictures. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. So I'm not sure. I use a point and shoot, and I don't really have a lot of trouble with it. And if you use iPhones, I don't think you should have trouble with it, but I'm not sure. I'm not a photography expert, I will say. I'm not. I just do enough to get by. Well, Brian, thanks for listening while you're listening. Yeah, it's nice. I do the same thing. I actually listen to all the other reseller YouTube channels while I do stuff at work, wherever else, because I'm just always learning. I love to learn from other people. So Tony said, I went to your Charlotte Goodwill. You're here on Thursday. Now I know why you're doing so well. Yeah, Charlotte's a gold mine. I'll say it over and over. I feel like it's the best area in the country to source clothing. I mean, it's abundant and it's flat rate regardless of brand. So. Let me see. Got another minute. Let me see. No TV said, question, which all right name brand dress shirt do you not pick up? That's a really broad question, No TV. And I'm going to actually flip that back to you and challenge you that instead of asking for that, like I would spend a lot of time in the completed and sold listings, and I would filter for a price range that you want to sell at and document those brands and research them rather than asking for not to pick up, right? You should be asking what is the reason to pick something up. And eBay sold and complete listings, I think, is the best way. And actually, Shannon and I probably, if time allows tomorrow, we're going to do like a research video together because I'm trying to learn about women's clothing. And I'll show you, No TV, exactly how I research. Steve Reagan has a ton of good videos on how to research as well. So that would be where I direct you with that. But an example, just to answer your question, because I don't want to dodge it, is like I never pick up Van Heusen unless it's new with tags. Like or any Macy's brand for the most part, I don't pick up unless it's new with tags. So hopefully that answers. Let me see. Let me take one more question. Sean Payne said, thoughts on Brooks Brothers ties. Those are my bread and butter, Sean. As far as ties go, I charge $9.99 plus $2 shipping and do an auction on all of them. So and I just use the auction so I don't get charged a fee to list them, since I get 300 free ones every month, I think. So Brooks Brothers shorts do sell well if they have good patterns. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. It's late. I have to ship all these items still. Thank you so much. We have 81 watching. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I really, really appreciate it on such short notice. I hope your weekends are going great. I hope they finish strong. Hopefully you watched the excitement of the Masters and got to see Sergio finally eliminate that curse he had. And just hope you guys have an awesome week and are super productive. And remember, Monday is just as an exciting day as any other day of the week if you get to work on your business. So just look at it that way. It's another day to work on your business. Get excited about it, guys. So have a great night. Check me out on Instagram at Endless Entrepreneurs, and we'll hopefully have a new video up tomorrow for you guys. Have a great night.